take up too much of y'all's time. My name is Mike Swazo. My mother, Cindy, is John Broadman's sister. I actually never met my uncle, but know nothing but stories of him. Obviously very revered in my family. So I live here in Atlanta, been here about 5 years. So new Southerner, learning that it's better than the Yankees. No desire to go back to Kansas. I'm a career military brat. My father was in for 30 years. So you know, a lot of your stories, your acronyms resonate a little bit. But I just came along to support my mom and her sister.
I'm Sparkle. The three girls. Johnny was the oldest. He was the boss. He took very good care of us. He was the best big brother anybody could ever have. And Daddy was in the military, so we traveled a lot. Johnny always wanted to be in the military. That was, I mean, just him from the beginning. He also was a very good dancer. I have a picture. He and I used to jitterbug all the time.
Yeah.
And so maybe you didn't even realize that he really was a party boy sometimes. And I was probably the closest to Johnny because there wasn't much difference in age. And I am just hoping that this experience will probably maybe put some things to rest. It's been hard, but I have a letter that I don't know where it came from, unless our other sister, we have another sister, Star. Those are nicknames, Sparkle, Twinkle, and Star, but we had them since the day we were born. And Johnny actually wrote and said that, you know, after being over there for the time, I'm not sure the date on the letter, that he still believed that that's where we needed to be, and for us and for our children. And he felt very strongly about that. And it was nice to read that letter because, you know, once he went off to war, he was always very protective of us. And I don't know whether he ever really told us exactly how he felt, but that letter said a lot. And he was just the best. He really was. And thank you all for being there with him.
Expand just a little more on your expectations. Because
I don't mind your language, so you don't have to keep that in mind as you speak. For me, I just wanted to be around people that were with him at the end because we didn't have that honor. And just to meet all of you, whether you knew Johnny or not, and to thank you for everything you did and your service, and that means a lot, it really does. And you know, we're not here to judge.
Share your family history a little bit with this. This is a very unique and wonderful family. So talk about your Marine grandfather and so forth.
Oh, yeah. Our grandfather on our father's side was a Marine Corps general. Stood about that tall. And just everything was military in our lives. And we loved it. We didn't think of ourselves as Army brats and poor, unfortunate
How in the world did your
people.
father wind up in the Army?
He went to Bordentown Military Institute. My grandfather went there, Daddy went there, and Johnny went there. And then he didn't go to college. And
worked on a dairy farm.
Worked on a dairy farm, yes. That's what he was doing when I was born. And
No one should have to work that hard, but that's where I grew up.
your stories last night, yes. And so Daddy was career Army. We lived in Stuttgart, lived in Taiwan, and loved it, loved it. There's no education like that, it really isn't. And my mom, we were just saying last night, there were actually 6 children in our family, 3 girls and 3 boys. And I don't know how my parents did it, but they lost the 3 boys. And we're left with the 3 girls. The only thing I'd like to say about expectations, I just don't know how to thank you all enough. And that you would remember us and choose to include us today. Because, you know, you often think that you're the only one left that has, you know, memories and cares. And when Dan wrote and told me about Johnny's Ranger hat, and I didn't even know about that. He said, I just need to know, did it get back? Because I put it in there with him. And so I went into the house, Mom's house, and I had never gone in that Foot Locker. But there was the hat. So I have the hat. And just thanks. You don't know how much it means, and I think it's a good, not closure, because I didn't want it to close. But certainly, just to be in this room with such wonderful people, and Dan, thanks for being there with them at the end.
I can't-
No, you're not getting off the hook, honey. I really love Hawk. You've got little different perspective.
No, I don't.
No.
I really don't. I echo,
What a
ditto everything that Sparkle has said. Just being able to be here today is such an honor.
You know, you put 30 years in with another guy.
I did. My husband served for 30 years as a tanker. He was a tanker.
Did he ever get in the tank?
Absolutely. I've been in a tank. I've been in a tank. But we're just so honored to be here. And when I heard it was being held in Atlanta, I called my son and I said, would you take us? And he said, you don't even have to ask, Mom. Like Mike said, he never knew John, but John has been in our lives my whole marriage. I've been married for 41 years, and there's not a day that goes by that we don't think of John and we don't think of Vietnam and all you wonderful people. And my kids have grown up knowing him, but not knowing him. I have 3 children. So when you all said Atlanta and Mike said, absolutely, he said, I'm there. I want to go. No questions, So it's just such an honor to be here, and I thank you all so very much.